Ira Mullins officially laid claim to 100 acres of good old Pike County soil. The land nestled along Elkhorn Creek, surveyed and granted fair and square. Now here's where it gets juicy. Ira's new homestead just so happened to rub shoulders with the property of one Henry Vanover, his wife Laurence's uncle, a Civil War vet who had served in the Union Army and walked away with a hefty government land grant totaling 900 acres. Henry's stretch of kingdom spanned both sides of Elkhorn Creek and covered what would one day become Burdine, East Jenkins, and Number 3 Hollow. Oh, he was no slouch either. Vanover made a tidy living selling timber, and then flipping that cash into even more land like some kind of Appalachian monopoly tycoon. So imagine his delight when his bootlegging nephew-in-law staked claim right up against his land like a drunk cousin standing too close at a family reunion. Ira wasn't just building a cozy log cabin with a rocking chair on the porch. Oh no, he was running a full-blown moonshine operation. Fields, barrels, probably a few strategically placed rifles, and all of it bubbling just a few tree lengths away from Harry's property line. Now Henry Vanover, needless to say, was not amused. He accused Ira of trespassing, land grabbing, claimed Ira was squatting on his property that he had embarked for himself. Now Ira, the ever-gentleman outlaw, pulled out his official survey documents and basically said, "Show me the deed or sit back down, Uncle Hank." Thus began a years-long feud over a patch of creekside Appalachia, and in true mountaineer fashion, the argument wasn't settled with a polite handshake or legal mediators. Nope, just two stubborn men, some questionable paperwork, and one big mess of moonshine-fueled spite. Spoiler alert, this land dispute was just one more log on the fire that would eventually blow everything sky high. Now, one particularly curious piece in the long, tangled feud between Henry Vanover and Ira Mullins came down to the company they kept and what that company stirred up. On the Vanover side, the Red Fox himself. Taylor was a regular at the Vanover household, likely bringing his usual mix of charm, fire, and brimstone and unsettling spiritual antics. Alongside Taylor, there were the Fleming brothers, Calvin and Heenan, who had a long, bitter tension simmering with Ira. So when shots rang out through the quiet hollers of Elkhorn Creek on the night of May 28, 1885, it was no surprise that everyone looked at Ira. According to the court records and Vanover family lore, Henry had just returned from a hard day's work of timbering, and he was at home relaxing with his wife and his children when a lone figure on a horseback came clattering down the trail beside the creek, gun drawn, firing straight into the Vanover home. Without hesitation, Henry grabbed his rifle, returned fire, like a well-placed shot ended that attack, dropping the rider right there dead in the mud. When they retrieved the body, they found out who it was, James Roberts, a man from Ohio. Not just any Ohioan. Roberts had been staying at the home of Ira and Lorenza Mullins. Now to Henry, this message was loud and clear. This wasn't some drunk riding wild. This was the hit. Vanover had become convinced that Ira had sent Roberts as a hired gun to take him out. Whether that was true or not, the whispers of backwoods assassination attempts only deepened the rift between the two men. Now the law came for Vanover charging him with murder, but once the dust settled in the courtroom, Henry walked away a free man, acquitted. The jury just saw a father defending his home against an armed attacker. Just another chapter in the bitter saga between the moonshiner and the war veteran. But after bullets flew that night, there'd be no going back. The fuse was lit.